Today we are going to start a series on various myths and misunderstandings that people have around DPDP. Every day for the next couple of weeks, we will pick up each of the myths and misunderstandings and explore how it works. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on privacy and DPDP. And starting on the myths, today we are going to talk about the first big myth that it applies only to large companies. People believe, a new law, it comes at a turnover and slowly it starts trickling down. It happened like, for example, with GST, right? E-GST or e-invoicing only if you cross a level of turnover. It was a few thousand crores, a few hundred crores, and has come down to 5 crores now, right? Startups and small companies can ignore DPDP. Regulators focus only on big tech and fintech, and small companies don't even collect PIIs. Well, if you logically ask yourself, of course, you can say law you need to read. But can startups ignore? Do they don't collect PIIs? Startups do collect a lot of PIIs. Do even small companies don't collect PIIs? The moment you hire a employee, you collect his name, address, phone number. You transfer his salary. You deduct his tax. You deduct his provident fund. And the moment you get entangled with provident fund, you are sharing his personal information also. Well, so you are doing everything, irrespective of your size. DPDP, people also believe, is a turnover-based law. No, it is not. Will handle compliance as you scale. Well, that's your carelessness. You can get into issues. Privacy by design principle says, do it now, especially when you are small size, so that you can scale up easily. Your choice if you want to spoil it for yourself. Privacy is seen as an enterprise level overhead. It is not an overhead. It is an important function. Lack of early enforcement, visibility, you may feel it right now. The government made it mandatory to be compliant from May 27 onwards. I saw that on a LinkedIn, a newspaper cutting. They are considering to prepone it by 6 months, which means November 26 could now be the deadline for compliance. What DPDP actually applies to? It applies to collection of personal data, and as I said, anyone who does business collects personal information, right? Store personal data, we all store it. We collect it and store it somewhere. The law actually says collect in digital format or collect in manual format, but digitize. Both cases we apply. Process personal data, which is another important thing. Share personal data with third parties. Provident fund. Very basic example. If you have grown to a size of 25 employees, you'll go to the bank with a transfer letter or an Excel file. Generally, banks say minimum 25 entries per Excel file. When you grow beyond 10 people, you are into Provident Fund. Both places you are sharing personal information. Actually, both places you are sharing sensitive personal information. Purpose hai, you have the purpose, you have the necessity of processing. So, DPDP applies to you. Startups collect information, email IDs at least, HR handles resumes, clinics, nursing homes, they collect, right? If you are saying that I am so small a clinic that I do a paper prescription and I never digitize it, I don't think it is a correct statement. I've seen so many clinics who doctors still gets paper prescription, right? But for the customer appointment sake or the patient appointment sake, they need the name and the phone number of the patient or his family member. You're collecting PIIs. Maybe small, but you are collecting. You may not be digitizing his reports and his medicines, which is a bad practice as of now, but maybe you are at that smaller level. But you're collecting his name and phone number and putting it in your computer so that you can call him up next time. EdTech and SaaS platforms, well, a lot of data. Kids doing a lot, wonders beyond games. Societies, RWS associations, we debated this recently and we found out that they do video surveillance on car parking. Very interesting. Do they get a PII there? To some extent your face, but for sure the car plate number. And they can use this PII to generate your complete personal profile. In any case, you share your personal information with your societies and associations and RWS. Right? They may say we have not digitized it, but there are a lot of possibilities that this video surveillance is actually outsourced. A provider is providing the equipment as well as monitoring. Wow. Practical risk of believing this myth, you'll become casual. And for sure, if you become casual, once you stay casual, it's very difficult to get back in discipline. There's no control over purpose. There's a very weak vendor control, and there are no accountability trails because you never made a system, so you never held anyone accountable for it. There are higher risks during compliance and audits, and it will be difficult for you to handle those risks. Key takeaways: DPDP does not depend on data size, it depends upon the data processing, data collection, data storage, data handling, personal information of an Indian citizen collected in digitized format or collected manually but digitized later. You are liable to be compliant with DPDP. Small organizations must design privacy early. It makes easier to get rid of a compliance actually. I would take it that way. So that's about DPDP and why it is a myth that it is not meant for small organizations. Be very careful, especially if you're a small organization. I hope you like the content of the video. Need any help in getting more details on DPDP? Need my help to deploy or set up your DPDP practices? My contact details are there on the channel. You can contact me there. Leave a comment in the feedback section. I'll get back to you. Thank you.